I'm sick of making frivolous art. And what I mean by frivolous is just art that doesn't actually say anything. I may be able to make visually appealing art, and that's cool, nothing wrong with that, but I want to make it so that it actually means something, as well as being visually appealing. Look at these paintings. I love these paintings. Do you know what they all have in common? They're all beautiful, and they also have emotional depth. I want to make art like this. I want my art to have emotion, be it desperation, anguish, intimacy, temptation, or suspense. I began this drawing with the intention of drawing this Cooper's hawk, and it's beautiful and it's a great photo, if I do say so myself, but it would just be a copy of a picture that already exists. And for what? I wanted to make something different this time. And I wanted the hawk, but I also wanted something creepy. I wanted there to be something wrong here. I wanted some sort of slithering beast creeping up on the hawk. I wanted a serpent. Over the last few years, I've unexpectedly encountered and observed the behavior of a few human-shaped serpents. I guess in this analogy, I'm loosely the hawk being approached by the foul-intentioned serpent. But if you know me at all in real life, I'm less of a hawk and I'm more like something like this. Here are some of the tools I use to make my drawings look rich and contrasty and be delicious. Charcoal pencil, a soft bristle brush, a detail eraser, and a big eraser because God knows I'll need it. I wanted to draw this scene in graphite and charcoal before even thinking about turning it into an oil painting because I wanted to see the full picture before committing to a full painting, which takes so much longer than a drawing and takes a lot more resources and effort. I wanted to see if it would even be worth painting in oil. Over the last about a year, I've just totally fallen in love with birds in general, and birds of all kinds. Birds that look like this, and birds that also look like this and this. I just think that they're some of the most precious creatures and I just find so much beauty in them. Hence why I wanted to draw this hawk in particular, which I captured in May 2025 with a very long lens, perched atop a tree, overlooking the horizon as he is doing in this drawing. I'm not changing all that much about him because I think he's beautiful. Now that we have the bird, we can move on to the fun part. The serpent. I don't have a definitive reference image for this serpent. I mostly just have a Pinterest board of a bunch of visual ideas, but it is up to me to human brain generate what this snake will look like in the composition. It's not going well. The reason why I think it's not going well is for a couple of reasons. It's kind of doing too much of a squiggly right here, like too much of a corkscrew shape around the branches that I don't like. And then I don't like what's happening right here. It's just like he's suspended and like hanging. It looks too limp. I want it to look more like he is in like a recoil position, ready to strike. And that's not really what I'm getting right now. So let's move on to phase 2 of the rough draft of my brain generating the snake. I'm going to try to make him look like he's doing more of a recoil motion and he's gonna look a lot better, I think. Ready, set, go. I have a disgusting confession to make. I'm not gonna lie, at moments like this, the temptation to use AI to help generate a reference image is present, unfortunately. As someone who relies so heavily on reference images for my art, I often feel very lost without them. And if I don't have them, I just won't make the art that I'm envisioning. Lately though, I've been experimenting with making art that doesn't exist within the bounds of a singular perfect photo to copy directly off of. And I also realized that that feeling of discomfort that I get during the process of creating without one definite reference image is actually the feeling of my neurons firing. And I don't need AI to do that for me because I have a perfectly able brain to accomplish whatever I need it to. Duh. And is this version perfectly anatomically correct? Probably not. However, it came from my brain and I am satisfied with it. All right, this is looking a lot better than this. Than this. It's like an abnormally long snake, but I also want it to look kind of creepy, kind of like extra creepy. And I think making it long makes it kind of do that. Another problem that I can foresee myself running into right now is I think that the paper is not long enough to accommodate the snake. So the next step now is to begin drawing the snake onto the main composition, and we'll see if I have enough room. My prediction was correct. I do not have enough room on this paper to complete the snake. Therefore, I have only one option. Just kidding. It's nothing some scissors and tape can't fix. It's time to start shading the snake, finally. And I draw something for the head that looks like a snake enough, but it's just kind of like not quite right. I am wanting to use a good reference image for the head, or multiple good reference images, but I just couldn't find anything sufficient, so I decided to save the head for last. As for this first part of the shading, I also have no idea what I'm doing, kind of just winging it. But I didn't really feel good about that, so I went to the internet to seek reference images of what I needed. That being, scales? I don't know what I needed. I needed something to help me. But it's at this point that I really don't know what a snake actually looks like. So let's look up snake showing fangs again. Oh, that's AI. Blech. I think this is also AI? I ended up getting frustrated because half of it was AI generated. Of course it was. And I really could not find anything sufficient reference-wise, so I decided to just move on to the rest of the body. While I didn't find any actual reference images, I did find these drawings that I use as references for these scales to help me a little bit. I found these off of Pinterest, and when I finally got the pattern of the scales down, I felt a lot more confident about this drawing, and it started coming out pretty nicely. This part was definitely my favorite just because it looked so just nice, and I didn't mess up on the scales, and they look pretty good in my opinion. And even though it was going well, while drawing this part, the feelings of, ugh, is this even worth it? Like, who cares? No one cares, and it's like mid anyway, like who cares? I often have to ward off these thoughts literally whenever I'm creating anything, be it a drawing, a painting, a video, a photo, a floral arrangement, or anything else, while simultaneously having the biggest ego about it. All right, here we have the almost completed drawing. However, we still need to do the face, the penultimate portion of this drawing. As this preliminary study draws near to completion, I begin feeling a sense of fulfillment and excitement. I just want to make art that fulfills me and stirs up thoughts and or emotions within others, where there's something actually happening in the piece, not art that only looks good. And again, nothing wrong with art that just looks good, that just exists to be beautiful to look at. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. In fact, I will still probably make art that is copied directly off of a photograph. Actually, one of my next paintings is exactly that. But I just want it to mean something. I want there to be some meaning to each of my drawings and my paintings past what it can offer visually. I want the sort of work that people will like stand in front of and can be analyzed. That is just my favorite kind of work. To be able to analyze any kind of work, honestly, like even like TV shows, music, other paintings, I love being able to analyze that, and I want my art to be exactly that, to be analyzable. And I think that this is a good start. All right, now that we have the snake fully done, I just need to start blocking in more of the branches and then shading them in lightly, and then we will see what we have got. And we will see if this drawing is worthy of turning into a full painting. Here is the drawing. It is now complete-ish, kind of. I didn't feel like drawing the rest of the branches, and I decided it would be redundant. I just didn't feel like drawing the branches or a black background in charcoal because that would have taken so long. I have deemed it worthy of oil paint, so I will be turning it into a full painting. And I have full confidence that the painting will look a lot cooler than this does because it really is just like mostly white. Like it's basically just white. Whereas the painting is going to be, I'm gonna make it, I think, a black background. So it's gonna be a green snake on black background. And I'm gonna have him fading into the shadows looking a lot creepier than he looks here, which he's not very concealed here. So essentially what this drawing is, it's the inverted version of what the painting is going to look like, sort of. But yeah, that is the end of this first part of this drawing / painting, this artwork. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching and stay tuned for the second part of this artwork. Thank you and goodbye.